I can do Japanese, you know? I can do it. So we're going to. We are in Seijo Academy, and this is Nakanishi Kendo. And that's Zanmaroga. Okay? I'm gonna be Japanese. I can do it. Probably. You know, I entertain the idea for... Never mind, fuck it. Who cares? Anyway, Kendo's talking about her experiences with the leading Bancho of Seijo. So, that's how that goes. Kendo's pretty cool. I didn't really mention it, but I'm mostly... Well, I did kind of mention it, but I'm still mostly recruiting Kendo for another character that you can get later in the game who's much, much, much cooler than Kendo and actually wields a blade. So, that's how that goes. Her sister is an accessory. Really. I think that's all of it. But yeah, Roga finds out here that Akito's place is located underground, kind of, but you can't go there until you've defeated Burai in the school. Burai! That's what I have to do to appease all the hardcore weebs. Zanmaroga Nakanishi Kendo. I'll do it. I will for this episode. Maybe I'll do a whole one in Japanese. Yeah. That'd make people shut the fuck up when I mispronounce a word, wouldn't it? But, yep. So, there isn't really much left in the school. I think I haven't chosen a teacher yet. I'll do that. If you're interested, like, I'm only recruiting a teacher to show you guys them. Like, on your first playthrough, they're not really important. They're not good units. Both of the teachers are pretty bad, and they're expensive. But, I mean, they're not expensive enough that it'll just ruin your whole game or anything. I mean, they're noticeably more expensive than other characters. And they're terrible. They're terrible. That's important. Yeah. Oh, I did get the teacher's H scene too the other day. The male teachers. That was worth it. That was a pretty decent H scene, I have to admit. I'm happy that I got that. So, you guys can go ahead and go get that. It was better than the doctors. It was better than Francine's. So there you go. But, incidentally, in this scene, Tamari throws a vial at Roga, but that's how he attacks. That's how he attacks in his sprite throughout the game. And the level of detail in these videos for the sprites are adequate, but you really can only appreciate it if you play the game yourself. Like, you can't see in my videos Roga's smug grin as he advances on people in combat, you know? So, be aware of that. Be aware of that. Another thing that I like is that Tamari and Francine are both in their H scenes. They're both in them. So, you know that, you know, they're there. Like, it's not, here's a penis and half of a body. It's like, well, actually, for Tamari, it is kind of like that. But you can see his clothing. You know it's him. You can see his hair too, I think. His head's hair. Then, but the other one is way more obvious. It's way more obvious. So that's all you need to know. Yeah. But oh man, this is killing me right here. Oh. For those of you in the know, this is why I like Tamari more than Francine, because he knows. He looks at Yuki and he knows, but he never says anything. He never once says anything. I love that. I fucking love that. That's cool to me. He just lets it go. It's done now. Those of you who missed it, it went over your head, it's done. You've already lost it. It's like one sentence, if that, where Tamari hints at knowing about Yuki, and that's it, and I really like that a whole bunch. But I won't be talking to him now. I'll talk to Go again. So there we are. Yeah, Roga and Go had been separated for a long time, and they're more or less catching up. You don't find out why Go was gone for a long time. Yeah, like right at the end of the game you find out what was up, and that's hit or miss for people, I'll tell you what. But Go, I never explained his second ability, and it's not ever used in combat, and it's not ever used until the last stage of the game. He discovers buildings, more or less, or I guess on occasion money, and gives it to you. So you want to move him around the map. I'll go over that more later on, but it's not important right now. His ability, Explorer, is not important right now. So you can let it go. You know, you can let it go. You can let it go. Alright, I'm done there. I could have just, whatever, fuck you. We're gonna go take out Barai now, and we're actually good with what we've got. To be honest, it'll work. I guess I'll show you the teacher. He's a cool guy, and I'll show you Hinako. She's a cool girl. Cool lolly. Here's Barai. You can see that he's got a high counter rate. He's a good unit. Roga's gonna go in there and beat the fuck out of him. And yeah, I mean Barai dodges frequently, so be aware of that. I mean this isn't a hard fight. It's not like I need to give you a huge heads up on what's going on or anything. It's like the others. So I'll show you Kinako's attack too. It's pretty cool. Or I mean Kinako's attack. My apologies. And these guys are long range, so of course I'll send Haita to handle it. He just goes in there and punches him in the mouth, and then it's over. They have crossbows as well, which is really interesting to me because, you know, in modern day, crossbows are obsolete. People don't use them to fight, ever. And in this game, crossbows are obsolete. You know, people have tanks and handguns later on, yet all of these students have crossbows. Like, it's easier for me to find an unused gun of any kind than it would be to find a crossbow. So I'm a little confused as to how these men found crossbows. Unless there are like archery clubs that specialize in crossbow use in Japan, which I still highly doubt. I mean, Japanese schools have a lot of useless clubs, but... And right there what they're talking about. These two executives just talked about the PGG and its president. That's really, really irrelevant to you as a player at this point in the game, but it's extremely important later on, because technically you're in the PGG's territory, and you're kind of breaking free from them. The PGG is the... Oh, how do I explain it properly? It's like Japan's broken into 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 factions, I guess, more or less. And you're a part of one of those factions, but they don't have a full control over what's going on where you're at. So you're rising up, taking that town from them, and then usually on your first playthrough, the PGG is who you declare war on first. So it kind of goes full circle there. And, you know, they talk about those things that all the characters in the game know. Like, Akito knows about the PGG, and the people that you fight later on talk about it, but you just don't know what it is. So, yeah. I love her laugh, I really do. That calm, soothing Kaneko voice. Well, I guess I'll cut this one at 9.